lovely Sagittarius. Welcome to your April 2020 love and general reading. I am Gemstone Tarot. You are Sagittarius. Lucky you, Sagittarius, just for being you. Anyway, the last few months of your readings, I felt like, and this is not something I would normally say to Sagittarians, things are getting a bit real for you. I know. Now, make no mistake, if I could be any sign of the zodiac, I would choose Sagittarius, seriously. Because all the Sagittarians I know are quite kind of happy-go-lucky. And I know there are different shades to a person. Obviously, we're all human, there's lots of things, but the kind of overriding vibe I get from Sagittarians is optimism, energy, and smiles, okay? And this is good. And so normally I wouldn't kind of get serious with Sagittarians because who wants to spoil their party? Not me. And I don't want to spoil your party now. But I just, over the last few readings, have had the kind of sense that there's what I call, spiritual big jobs on the horizon. Okay, spiritual big jobs, Sagittarius. Things happening. Big things like geographical moves, changes of career, wanting to settle down in love, stuff like that, you know. I'm talking kind of seismic shifts. Now, so I'm not an astrologer, so I've got an astrology diary to help me. Moon diary. And I flicked the eclipses section. And of course, you have some eclipses this year in your sign. You've particularly got one on the 5th of June that I'm interested in. Yeah, it's you and your opposite sign of Gemini. So 5th of June, you've got a full moon lunar eclipse in your sign. That's a big deal. Now, I feel like even though we're only in the April reading, things are building up to a point on that. Not exactly on the 5th of June, but around that time, okay? Then you have another eclipse, a solar new moon eclipse in your sign on the 14th of December. That's a long time away, you know, I get it. But I feel like there are portals for you this year. That's my portals mime. Portals for you this year, sir, madam. Portals. I don't know, I've gone all funny and Victorian. And it feels like they're quite serious. It's good. It's a game changer. But just know about that, you know. I would say be on guard, but you're Sagittarians. You don't need to be on guard. Just have it in your magical consciousness. Okay, that's the nicest way that I can put it. You've got some pretty big cards here. Yes. Okay. And if you want to look at astrology, Susan Miller is good. She's on the Tinternet. I don't know if she's on YouTube. Molly McCord, she's on YouTube. She's super duper. And there's Gregory Scott. He's really good. There's various astrological people. There's Cafe Astrology. So go and have a look on there. Anyway, Saggy, you're reading Major Arcanas. Overall energy card of the Emperor. Now, Emperor, taking charge, the CEO, the father, the big daddy, whatever you want to call him, okay? I'm doing my big daddy dance, whatever that is. I'm feeling, whenever I do your reading, Saggy, I get Sagittarian. I'm a Pisces, so it's my job. I'm like, ooh, I want to go like that every single time. I want to make my arms go, but I want to make everything big, okay? So hats off to you and your lovely energy for giving me that opportunity to be Sagittarius just for this short time. My midheaven is in Sagittarius. I'm claiming that. Emperor. Now, for some of you, this is about your father, okay? Not wanting to get all Darth Vader on you, but it is father. Fatherly influences. So this could be if your father is still with us, if your father has passed. It doesn't really make any difference to the amount of involvement it has in your energy. So look to your relationship with your father. Look to your And I'm not saying to divide it into good and bad experiences. You know, we're human, it's parents. I mean, God, it's complicated. You don't need to get on a Debbie Downer about it. I just mean literally be curious about your relationship with your father in terms of your relationship with other people, how you live your life, what makes you happy, how he lived his life or lives his life. Or if you are a father, it's to do with that too. But it's more for me about the emperor, the father figure. It can also be about bosses and CEOs within your own company, because the emperor is the CEO of the tarot, of the major arcana. But the father, you know, especially back in the day, sort of 50 years ago, was the CEO of the family, okay? This is about, Saggy, how you conduct yourself, how you take charge. Things are getting real. You may need to sit in the emperor's throne, okay? Male or female, you may need, this is the masculine energy, but it's male or female, you may need to be exerting masculine energy, it's my exerting mind, towards the world, towards other people. So when it comes to your career, which has been coming up for about 6 months, and I think we've talked in the last couple of months about, you know, spreadsheets. People coming at you with spreadsheets. It's probably Sagittarius and Pisces that will appreciate that the least. I used to have a mug when I had a proper corporate job, and it said, "I heart spreadsheets," okay? Now, of course, it was deeply ironic because I hate spreadsheets. I just feel like you're being chased down the road by a walking spreadsheet, or maybe a running spreadsheet, okay? Or even, let's face it, someone doing that weird walk that you do when you're doing those, you know, that weird exercise where somebody's really like, you know, doing the weird walk. What do they call that? Speed walking. Someone in work, maybe in life or in family or whatever it is speed walking behind you with an armful, a fistful of spreadsheets. What about this? What about dotting the I's and crossing the T's, Sagittarius? And you know what? That might as well just be little arrows going into all your creative places. And you're like, oh. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have to beat them off with a dirty stick. Please don't do that. I'm not advocating any violence. But you are going to have to do what Sagittarians don't do, because you're mutable, okay? You're mutable fire. Similarly to Pisces, we're mutable water. When trouble comes, when spreadsheets come a-calling, we tend to divert. You know, look at this. Ah, look over there. You know, it's that kind of thing. Or we tend to ramp up our creativity so that we become so damn good and creative that people think, oh, well, I won't bother them with that spreadsheet stuff. And this may be in relationships too, okay? But that may not cut it. It's coming to a head. They're going to catch up with you. The speed walker's going to catch up with you. And I am not saying, you know, get involved in the spreadsheet. I'm just saying you may need to take a stand. The Emperor. For some of you, this could be in relationships. You may need to take a stand. One way or another, you need to stand up and be counted, okay? Your other energy card is the Seven of Cups, the fantasy future card. And again, Sagittarius has, you know, ruled by Jupiter, the planet of philosophy and long-term travel and woohoo and spirituality and wavy arms and all that kind of dancing, you know. Be careful, because you need to be real about your choices. I know, and I don't want to put a dampener on things, because actually your choices are really good. But you're going to have to claim your life. I know. Claim it, baby. Right. So, in relationships, some of you are feeling suffocated by somebody who is running after you with like a relationship spreadsheet, a relationship contract like Sheldon off Big Bang Theory. And others of you are feeling frustrated by somebody maybe you're in a situationship with, okay? And again, either way, you've got to stand up and be counted. I have got, what have I got? There's someone at the door. Relationship, situationship, someone running after you, you maybe running after someone. We have the Eight of Cups, okay? Now the Eight of Cups is the walking away from something, fresh meat, okay? It's walking away from fresh love, love that is still alive. Those 8 cups are still living, breathing love, okay? So it's walking away when you don't want to. It's calling time on something that you maybe don't want to call time on, but you sort of have to in order to transform things. Now this can be, again, it can be career or it can be relationships, but it's taking a stand. 8s are movement. It's, you know, you would prefer it to be the 8 of Wands because you're a Sagittarius and that's more of a like, hey, fiery energy. But the 8 of Cups is your watery side. It's Saturn in Pisces. Why am I doing like a cat needy thing? It's Saturn in Pisces. Pisces does not walk away from things that they love, but Saturn is making them. You are going to have to step up or sit down on the throne, whichever it is, take the hot seat and either call time or walk away from a current dynamic with somebody, okay? We've also got the Magician, Major Arcana, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. The Magician is the ability to transform. And this is you kind of on a good Sagittarian day, okay? This is you playing with your universal toys, you know? You get to be the alchemist, turn water into wine and metal into gold and all that stuff. Major Arcana, it's here, okay, along with Justice. And this can represent hearings, court hearings, employment hearings, anything to do with literal justice. But also at the same time, it's Libra and it's scales, it's weighing up your kind of exciting Sagittarius side and your ability to get real, okay? There needs to be a balance because then you've got this Magician energy. You can transform things, but first you're going to have to take charge, okay? Because people around you are fighting something. 5 of Wands. This is competition. And it's also red tape, and it's also, you know, for a while I've had this sort of restrictive energy for you at work, and the King of Swords who's come up every month, who is a difficult employer, okay? It feels like it's either a difficult employer or you could be involved with someone who keeps their emotions very bottled up, okay? Now there will be an extended reading, Saggy, and the link will be in the description box. I'm going to have a look at the 8 of Cups in terms of relationships or career, and the King of Swords in terms of who you're dealing with, okay? 10 of Wands, now that is Saturn in Sagittarius. You are going to reach a point, I think, in April where you've had enough of a certain dynamic, and it may be career and love simultaneously. You also have this Chariot, 2 horses moving in different directions, and you're the charioteer and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to keep this show on the road? It's changeable and it's volatile and you can deal with that. But any kind of bumps in the road, you need to get out of the chariot, be the emperor, and actually say, no, it's going to be this way, or it's going to be that way, or do you know what? I'm out. Okay? Very, very decisive energy. Knight of Wands, that's your energy. That's who you are. You're going to, once you start saying no to things, charge into things that you do want pretty quickly, and you get the Page of Cups, which is an offer of love from somebody, okay? Let's have a look at your Chuck Spezzano cards. Particularly if you're leaving, if you're leaving a relationship behind, that's a card that says new love will come in. Oh, God. Yes, it is. I love it. Nope, not that one. Oh, wow. So, Chuck's Spezzano love card, you get the problem card of mistake. Something is or was a mistake, and that's in luck, love, and career, okay? Know when you've gone down a dead end, okay? And call it the Emperor. Know when you've done that, because then you get the luck card of love, which is finding love in the weirdest of places. But I feel like you can't open up that portal of opportunity and luck until you've closed down what definitely isn't working for you. And the Grace card of love. This is lovely, okay? There's your bachelor with the rose or bachelorette. Saggy, this is nice. I feel like your extended reading is going to be quite complex for some reason. Just a hunch. I think I will also just clarify all the major arcanas. Oracle card, you get to the sea. Literally putting it out to current and going with the flow, okay? But you've got to be captain of that ship. No use just drifting along forever. And I'm not saying that Sagittarians drift, you don't. It's a lovely kind of buoyancy that Sagittarians have. It's just going to require you every now and again to stop and call people out. You get the Oracle card of music. Now this is usually that spirit will talk to you through music. So music or dancing, okay, which is a very Sagittarian thing. Or it can be that your relationship with someone hinges around music. You're a musician, you sing or you dance or they do, something like that. I usually find with the music card it's very relevant to a few people, okay? Saggy, do subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go and do your extended reading. The link's in the description box and I will see you soon. Namaste.